From the popular ones like Pop Fizz and Hot Dog, to the less memorable like the Sprockets and the Jetvacs, we got the Skylander CORES in Skylanders Giants. And today is the day we rank them. And you're probably asking yourself, hey Victor, you're probably just going to put this in your most biased way possible. Wrong. I'm going to be using the same ranking system that I used for the Swap Force video and the 10th anniversary video, mostly because the ranking part of this is from that video and I posted it separately here now. But let me explain how it works. Basically, I'll be looking at every single possible upgrade for each Skylander core. And when I do that, they'll get a ranking out of 5. 5 being the best, like a perfect upgrade, and 0 being absolute doo-doo. At the end, they will have a maximum point limit of 65, meaning that was a perfect Skylander, nothing wrong with it. Don't know if any of them get it. Then after I'm done doing this with every single Skylander Giant core, they will be ranked from worst to best via what rating they got out of 65. And then also at the very end, I will be ranking them with my personal ranking, and you guys get to see how my favorite to least favorite stacks up against this point system. So now that you know how it works, let's get into the ranking. Alright, so now that we're on to the cores, who better to start off with than our boy Pop Fizz. Alright, so let's jump into the upgrades. We have Potion Lob. This one's good damage and decent range, so it's pretty average, so 4 out of 5. Next we have Beast Form. You're faster and stronger, but it doesn't last long. That's the only thing holding it back, so 4 out of 5. New Concoctions. 3 potions that do 3 different effects, and they do good damage, so 5 out of 5. Puddle of Pain. This is great for bosses and larger enemies for constant small damage, like overtime damage. So other than that, it's pretty useless because enemies will just kind of walk around it. So 4 out of 5. Next we have Raging Beast. Increases damage, so 5 out of 5. I can't even attempt to say that word. Dexterous? Alright, I know what it means, but I can't say it. Delivery, sure. Alright. Rate of fire, increase. That's all that matters. 5 out of 5. Alright, now let's go to the top path. We have More Beast, increases duration and recharge rate. So this is a 5 out of 5. Next we have Berserker Boost. This upgrade allows you to possibly be in beast mode the entire level. It's great. Do damage, get more of your meter back. So 5 out of 5 here. Now we have Mutant Beast. Unique attacks that do great damage, so 5 out of 5. Now for the bottom path, Master Chemist. This one increases damage and effects, so 5 out of 5. Now we have the Mixologist. Good damage to small areas, and they don't last long, so 3 out of 5. All In. So long charge time on this one. But it does good damage, but for the charge time, I feel like it should do more damage, so 4 out of 5. Then lastly, with the Soul Gem, we have Shake It. This one does massive damage, and it's definitely worth the long charge up time. This is how much damage this one should do. Like, they have the equivalent charge times, and this one does so much more damage. So this one gets a 5 out of 5, leaving Pop Fizz with a 59 out of 65. Now we have Jetvac. Not a very loved character in the community, but let's see if he's actually that bad or if people just hate him for no reason. First up, we have the Vac Blaster. This one does good damage, but the rate of fire feels slow, but it's kind of average. I don't know. It's just not good. So 4 out of 5. Next up, we have the Suction Gun. This one pulls enemies closer, doing small damage, but it pulls them closer. So 2 out of 5. It makes you super vulnerable because you're not doing enough damage to take them out. Now we have Feistier Fan. Increases damage of the fan, so 5 out of 5. Jetvac, Jetpack. Notice I had to say that. hardly travel faster, and it says new attacks in the air. Nope. No, you don't. What are you talking about? It's super hard to control. No new attacks. They lie. Now we got the Vac Blaster. Oh, this was a 1 out of 5, by the way. I think that was kind of obvious with the way I treated it. Vac Blaster 9000 increases damage 5 out of 5. And then Turbine Suction Fan increases damage 5 out of 5. So onto his paths. Maybe this is where he gets good. Piercing Winds. This wing increases damage and they can hit multiple targets, so it's a 5 out of 5. The Vac Master Blaster 20,000. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but sure. Anyways, increases damage 5 out of 5. Super Suction Air Blaster. Great damage, easy to use, so this one's a 5 out of 5. A perfect path. Bottom path, Tank Reserves. You get to increase your duration of flight and your recharge rate is faster. So this is a 5 out of 5, purely statistics. The Mulcher increases damage, 5 out of 5. I'm just now realizing all 5 so far have been based on stats. All right. And then lastly, we have the Flying Corkscrews. Finally, something different, an actual new flying attack. This one is good damage, but it's hard to control. You move super slow and hit like a single target, so it's a 3 out of 5. And then lastly, we have the Eagle Air Battle Gear. Increases armor. That's it. That's the whole soul gem. 3 out of 5. My goodness. Ending Jetvac's final score with a 53 out of 65. Now it's time for chill. Let's jump into our upgrades and get to rating these. Ice Javelin. Quick throw speed, but low to average damage, so 4 out of 5. Ice Wall. Great for protection and knockbacks, but can be hard to put where you want it, so 4 out of 5. Next we have the Great Wall, which extends the wall, so 5 out of 5. Glacial Bash. Alright, this one I have a lot to talk about. This does great damage when you hit the blocks, but poor damage when you use it on enemies because you can't use your little block move. So there's a little pause in between. It's a little bit complicated, but 3 out of 5. Just use it on the ice and you're good. Imperial Armor. Increases armor, so 5 out of 5. Cold Front. This is easy to use and it's very effective, but it makes you extremely slow. Like enemies can run circles around you and just keep hitting you from the backside. So 4 out of 5. Top path, we have the Burr Blade. Increases damage, 5 out of 5. Next we have the Shatter Spear, which you shoot, you shoot 1 still, but it turns into 2 when you shoot it through a wall. So it's great for arena, but like story mode and boss fights, it's not the best. But 5 out of 5 still. Next we have Triple Javelins. Now you actually throw 3 instead of 1. You don't have to send them through the ice. So it makes kind of this move useless. But it's a 5 out of 5. Now for the bottom we have Icebreaker. This one is a small explosion with good damage. So 4 out of 5. Now we have the Better Bash. Increases the area effect and hits multiple enemies. But it doesn't hit much. It's very inaccurate. 4 out of 5. On the Rocks. Freeze enemies. It's fantastic when she's not a character who does a ton of damage. So having this ability to freeze the enemies is pretty cool. So 5 out of 5. Then lastly, we have the Call of the Narwhal. This does great damage to anyone in front of you and has a pretty short load time as well. So 5 out of 5, leaving Chill with a final score of 58 out of 65. All right, now it's Hot Dog's turn. Let's jump into his abilities and get this poppin'. All right, we have Fire Bark. These are good damage, but a pretty slow fire rate. So 3 out of 5. Wall of Fire. Good damage to anyone in front of you. Keyword anyone in front. Directly in front of you. So 4 out of 5. Pyro Piercers. Increases damage and you can now hit multiple enemies. So 5 out of 5. Comet Slam. Great to avoid damage, a good little evade you got there,
And when you come back down, it does great damage. So 5 out of 5. Now we have Wall of More Fire. Increases damage 5 out of 5. Super Comment increases damage 5 out of 5. Top Path, Hot Dog combos. These are very underwhelming combos. I went this one for my Molten Hot Dog, and I was very underwhelmed. But they're a little useful still. But damage-wise and their effects, pretty meh. 4 out of 5. Bark Bombs increases damage 5 out of 5. Pyro Pinwheel. This thing is very inaccurate, but it does good damage when it actually hits, but it doesn't really affect the gameplay because you're up in the air anyways. So, 4 out of 5. Now for the bottom. Blazing Wildfire. Increases speed and damage, so 5 out of 5. Great Walls of Fire. Increases size and damage, 5 out of 5. And then Magma Battalion. Increases the area of effect and damage, so 5 out of 5. Just increasing so much damage throughout these. And then lastly, we have the Soul Gem. We have the Ding Dong Ditch. This one is just your average damage mine. A single average damage mine that you have to do your whole Comet Slam to do. Doesn't make much sense. It's pretty useless. 3 out of 5. Leaving Hot Dog with a final score. Why did I say it like that? Leaving Hot Dog with a final score of 58 out of 65. Now on to some of my least used Skylander right here. We have Fright Rider. So first off, really original name here, melee attacks. Anyways, it's pretty much like a 2-hit. It's not even a combo. It's just stab, stab, and then it resets. There's a pause in between the strikes. I don't like this at all. 2 out of 5. Next we have the Jousting Charge. This is a decent speed move. It's not very fast, but it has good damage and duration, so 4 out of 5. Next we have Ghoul Glaive. This increases damage, so it's 5 out of 5. Burrow Bomber. This is good damage, but it's slow and leaves you very vulnerable. I don't like that, so 2 out of 5. Phantasm Strike increases damage. And then Halberd of Horror increases damage, 5 out of 5. Onto the top path, we have the Fright Rider combos. These are our extremely, extremely powerful combos. I love these, 5 out of 5. And then now we have the Flock of Fury. These are decent damage. They're great for crowds of small enemies, but nothing more. 4 out of 5. And then Supreme Spear increases damage, 5 out of 5. Now for the bottom path, we have Joust Juice. Increases speed and damage of your joust, so 5 out of 5. Now we have Entombment Strike. This does massive damage to a very, very small area and can be hard to aim, so 4 out of 5. And then next we have the 360 degree of Spear. This does decent damage. It's nothing impressive, but it does it to anybody around you. Pretty wide area, all the way around, so 4 out of 5. Then lastly, we have a Real Drag. Now this does good damage and it's very useful for crowds of enemies, but only for small and medium-sized enemies. Large enemies later in the game, you don't stand a chance using this move. So this leaves Fright Rider with a final score of 54 out of 65. Alright, now time for everybody's favorite little fungus, Shroom Boom. First up, we have the Slingshot. This has a slow rate of fire. It's great damage though, but you must keep far away from enemies or else you can possibly shoot right over top. So 3 out of 5. Next we have the Mushroom Ring. This provides close range damage and protection, and it actually does decent damage. So 4 out of 5. Launch Paratroopers. This does great damage, quick fire rate, and really easy to aim since they just kind of come straight down and seem to land on the enemies every single time. So 5 out of 5. Now we have the Super Shrooms. Increases range, so 5 out of 5. Bigger Boom Shrooms. So this is a massive damage with short little charge time, so 5 out of 5. And Bouncing Boom Shrooms. Increases damage and range because, you know, they bounce. So 5 out of 5, just keep away when you're using him. Top path, Spore Power. This one is constant small damage, good for arena and crowd control, so 4 out of 5. Next we have the Ultimate Ring, increases range, so 5 out of 5. And then back to the beginning, you get to remain underground. You are extremely slow, but it provides a little bit of protection. And then for the bottom path, we have Lock and Load. You can fire exploding mushrooms faster, so increases rate of speed and increases damage, so 5 out of 5. Next we have Fungal Infestation. Now we have increased damage over time, so 5 out of 5. Paratroopers Invasion, shoot 3 instead of 1, increasing range, so 5 out of 5. And then lastly, the Self Slingshot. This does great damage, easy to use, short charge time, so 5 out of 5. Leaving Shroom Boom with an impressive final score of 59 out of 65.
Blinded by the light.
Now we're on to Flashwing, someone who has completely different opinion about when I first got her versus what I do now. So let's see her abilities one by one. Crystal Shards, slow rate of fire, but they do great damage, so 4 out of 5. Next we have the Shimmering Spin. This is a great speed boost while doing good damage, so 5 out of 5. I love that move. Surrounded by Shards. Now, this is great damage, but it just frustrates me that it shoots in all directions but forward. So 4 out of 5. Next up we have the Luminous Lasers. Now, this is great damage with an average charge time, but that stupid scream that she does every single time is so annoying. But don't worry, I'm not taking off a point for that. That's just a personal thing. It's still a 5 out of 5. Now we have the Light Speed Shards. Increases rate of fire and damage, so 5 out of 5. And then we have Armored Aura. So this increases your armor, so 5 out of 5. Now for the top path, we have Shooting Shards. This is hard to aim, like where you want them to go and where the next shot will go. But they do good damage, so 3 out of 5. That's the best I could give it. Next we have Crystal Craziness. Stick 3 crystals on the walls to destroy literally the whole screen. Just keep them, like, shoot at 3 different corners of like wherever you're at in the map, and then it'll just blow up the whole screen, do massive damage. So that's great. So 5 out of 5. Next we have Healing Crystals. Now, this is a good healing ability. You just have to stand close to it. So 5 out of 5. Now for the bottom path, we have Extra Radiant Rotation. Increases damage and duration, so 5 out of 5. Next we have Reflection Deflection. Increases armor, and you also get to deflect most projectiles back at the enemies, so 5 out of 5. Lights Crystal Action. These do great damage. Little laser lights show that you get to put on. It's not very fast, like you can't use them repetitively, but it's like 1 every second, but it's still useful when you're doing constant damage with her spin ability anyways, so 5 out of 5. And lastly, with her soul gem, we have the Crystal Lighthouse. This is great damage, but leaves you so vulnerable. One of the worst moves to leave you vulnerable, but it does good damage, so it makes up for a couple points, so 4 out of 5. Leaving Flashwing with a very impressive final score of 60 out of 65. Now on to everybody's favorite character from Giants, Sprocket. First up we have the Wrench Whack. These are actually quick strikes with good damage and a pretty good basic combo as well, so 5 out of 5. Now we have the Turret Gun-O-Matic. This is a slow build time and very underwhelming damage for a minion, so 3 out of 5. Next we have the Auto Turret V2, which is probably version 2 I'm guessing. Increases damage and health for the turret, so 5 out of 5. Bouncing Betty Mines. Great damage to any enemies near it, so I love these mine attacks, probably my favorite move of hers, so 5 out of 5. 2 times the turrets. You get 2 turrets, yeah, but you know, they still don't do great damage. But anyways, 5 out of 5. And tanks a lot. Quick movement speed, but still average damage. It's useless when your main attack does more damage than the tank. Did you hear me? A wrench. Swinging a wrench does more damage than driving a tank and shooting. You know, 3 out of 5. That's being generous too. Sprocket combos. These are actually really good, powerful combos, and they're very easy to use. So, 5 out of 5. Next, we have Monkey Wrench, which increases damage, so 5 out of 5. All mines. Throw 3 mines out there. This is damage all across in front of you, so this is great. So, 5 out of 5. Was that a perfect path? Oh my gosh, it was. Alright, now for the non-perfect path. Mine Drop. You literally have to drive away from the enemies for this mine to hit. It doesn't make much sense, but it does good damage still, because it's one of the mines. 4 out of 5. Next we have Exploding Shells. This increases your damage shots, so 5 out of 5. Self-Destruct System. This is good damage explosion. It really is. It's a good damage explosion. But enemies have to be so close to you to get affected by it. The explosion is tiny. 3 out of 5. And lastly, Landmine Golf. This is actually one of my favorite moves just because it's fun and you keep the good damage of your mines. But it can be very difficult to hit any small enemies and some medium enemies because it's not very accurate. But other than that, it's super fun. It's probably my favorite ability to use. So 4 out of 5. Leaving Sprocket with honestly a score that impressed me and is probably gonna either make people mad or impress them as well. But 57 out of 65. Alright, so it's that time again for you guys to find out how the upgrade rankings matched up against my rankings. So let's get into this. In last place at number 6, Jetvac. At number 5, Fright Rider. At number 4, Sprocket. At number 3, we have a tie between Chill and Hot Dog. At number 2, we have Shroom Boom and Pop Fizz. And at number 1, we have Flashwing. See, that was the upgrade ranking, so now it is time for my favorite to least favorite ranking. Actually, it's least favorite to favorite. Anyways, let's get into this. Number 8, Sprocket. Duh. 7, Shroom Boom. 6, Jetvac. 5, Chill. 4, Fright Rider. 3, Hot Dog. 2, Pop Fizz. And 1, Flashwing.
So that is it for this video. Don't forget to check out the description for my link tree. You get to see all my socials, my other YouTube channels, the eBay shop. Make sure you comment down below that Sprocket is your least favorite I'm just kidding. Just comment which one's your favorite and least favorite from Skylanders Giants core-wise. If you want the Giants one, go see the Giants video and then comment under that video as well. Other than that, that is it. As always, keep saving Skylands, and I'll see you guys soon.